Hey there guys, how are you today and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be discussing the results of my fantasy league from the French Grand Prix. Of course, you can still join the league. I'll leave the code for it in the description down below. So we're going to start by looking at the specific results from the French Grand Prix and then we'll look at the league overall. So, DCCF1 scored 101 points. That's the same as Seb, also 101 points. And Robbie got 134. Kyle got 136. Sapros Kirby got 152. Scuderia Stuttgart got 175. Blake 417 on 182. Roya on 193. Stuart Motorsport 194, so pretty close there. And then me with 240. I feel kind of awkward doing this. I feel like I don't want to be smug, but yeah, I dominated this round in our little competition here. It reminds me on Top Gear. I'm sure loads of you have watched Top Gear when Clarkson won a challenge and he had to announce it without looking smug. I kind of feel like that. Sorry, guys. But now let's go to the overall leaderboard. We'll have a look at everyone's more detailed results from the French Grand Prix. So starting at the bottom, Monaco 009, DCCF1, David, currently on 394 points. He got 101 points this week, so he went for Alonso, not the best move, of course. Normally Alonso is a good move, but he had a poor race, and in general McLaren had a poor weekend. Of course, then Ocon was knocked out on lap 1 by Pierre Gasly. Shame that the two of the French drivers knocked each other out on lap 1. Then Charles Leclerc had a good weekend. Surprised he only scored 9 points, but that's how the game works. Hulkenberg did well as your turbo driver. And Ricciardo solid as always with 29 points. And Mercedes, of course, with the win and a 1-2 in qualifying, 48 points. Not too bad. Moving on now to Rennet Grand Prix, which is Nicole on YouTube. Seb, as it says here, also 101 points. Raikkonen with 38 points. Raikkonen had a decent weekend, although you could say he was lucky with, of course, Vettel and Bottas crashing into each other and being low down the order, and then of course Ricciardo having issues. And then he had Leclerc, Hulkenberg. So Hulkenberg seems to be a popular turbo driver at the moment. Ricciardo and Gasly, who of course didn't finish the race. And Toro Rosso as the constructor, which I would say is pretty brave. I wouldn't have gone for that because we know that it's very rare both of their drivers have a good race, as shown this week and generally all the weeks. I don't think yet Gasly and Hartley have been in the points together. Is that true? Tell me. Someone do the research and check that for me. Moving on to Supro, which is Kirby, who's on 470 points. He got 152 points this weekend. So a pretty strong weekend. He went for Vettel. I suppose he didn't. After his incident, he actually was pretty good. He had a good fight back. Magnussen, good choice of turbo driver this weekend. Solid points finish. Leclerc, Hulkenberg and Gasly. Leclerc, Hulkenberg and Gasly all seem to be quite popular choices at the moment. I would say Leclerc and Gasly are both doing pretty well this season, although Gasly did have a poor race yesterday. And then Ferrari, 58 points. You can't say more than that. That's a pretty good. Of course, yeah, they scored higher than Mercedes, so probably the best team to choose. Moving on now to KTM team. That's KTM Milner. Kyle, 525 points overall. You got 136 this weekend. Alonso, 4 points again. Alonso just didn't have, McLaren even didn't have the pace this weekend. Magnussen again, turbo. Bottas, very unlucky, of course. Stroll, why on earth would you choose Lance Stroll? Just why? I'm not going to go into that. And then Charles Leclerc. And Mercedes as a team. So interesting, Mercedes won the race, but because of the other results, they weren't the highest scoring constructor, at least within this game, within this fantasy game. Now we're going to go to Robbie, who's just ahead of Kyle with 532 points. Let's have a look. So he had Leclerc as a turbo driver. I still think Leclerc certainly deserved to score higher if you consider what car he's in, but I know it doesn't really work like that. Then you had Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Hartley, who scored fairly well this weekend actually, and Carlos Sainz, and then Renault as a team. Renault had half decent weekend, I guess, in our home race. Of course, Sainz had issues towards the end of the race. Hulkenberg was actually out-qualified by Sainz, which is not something we've seen a lot this season, but was the case this week. But yeah, overall, a good ish weekend for you there, Robbie. No negative points, which is always a good start. Who's next? Scuderi Stuttgart on 573 points. Let's have a look. And you got 175 points in France, so you got Vettel, Ocon, who was very unlucky, Grosjean, who's just been poor this season, let's not even try. Van Dorn, well, McLaren had a poor race overall, but Van Dorn did well. I believe he beat Alonso in the end, so I suppose it was actually quite a positive weekend for Stoffel Van Dorn. And Raikkonen, as your turbo driver, that's where you got a lot of your points. 76, and you went for Red Bull, who actually were the highest scoring team on the game, I believe, this weekend. Who's next? Now I think we're coming to the top 4 of our league. It's like the Premier League. I bet with the top 4 getting Champions League. So we're going to go Break 417 on 707 points. Who did you go for? You went for Leclerc, Magnussen, Vettel, Gasly and Raikkonen. Of course, Gasly didn't have the best weekend. But otherwise, your choices, I would say, are pretty solid. And that's why you scored so highly this weekend. Next up is Stuart Motorsport, I believe. Yeah, that's Louis. So who have you gone for? You went for Vettel, Magnussen, Sainz, Ricciardo and Leclerc. And Red Bull is your team. Red Bull is certainly the best choice of team. And you put Leclerc as your turbo driver, which turned out to be obviously as a good thing, but Leclerc didn't score amazingly highly this weekend. And yeah, overall pretty good. I think Magnussen was a good driver to be on turbo this weekend. Sainz would have been good as well. And of course Raikkonen was the best driver to have on turbo this weekend. Now we're going to come to me on 755 points. So I'm just ahead of you at the moment. Who did I go for? I went for Alonso, who of course McLaren had a poor race. I had Raikkonen, turbo driver, 76 points. That was very, very strong by him. I went for Sainz, who had a decent race. Good thing he didn't. I guess I got lucky with a virtual safety car at the end of the race, which meant he didn't lose any more positions with his engine issue. I don't know what that is yet, actually. Hamilton, 64 points. Pole position, race win. He was never really in doubt, was it? And then Charles Leclerc. And I put Red Bull as a team, which was sort of the best one to choose this weekend. Finally, we're going to Warrior on 779 points. So he's got a small gap over me. But I did gain on him quite a bit this weekend. He went for both Ferrari drivers. Interesting, he's got both Ferrari drivers, but Mercedes as his team. He's also got Carlos Sainz, turbo driver, good choice. Roman Grosjean, I don't think he's good enough to be in the sport, and I wouldn't choose him personally. And then Charles Leclerc, and you got Mercedes overall. So yeah, guys, Fantasy F1's been going on for 5 weeks now. It seems to be quite popular. You guys are enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Our league has got some good battles in it, some good close battles, particularly in the top 4, of course. And yeah, that's it. And I guess I'll see you guys this time next week when I'll be talking about how we all did at the Austrian Grand Prix.